Hi, I'm Mog.
And I'm Joe.
And you're watching Disney Channel. I'm Mog and this is Joe, and we have been trying to have a baby for 4.5 years. When you say it like that, it's pretty crazy, eh? Damn. After we got married, we thought, you know what? We need more of this. Let's make a mini-me. And it didn't work. And it didn't work for a while. I remember the first time, sorry, TMI, but the first time after we tried to make a baby, and I was sitting there going, oh my goodness, I'm probably pregnant. It only takes once. That's what they tell you as a teenager, eh?
Yeah.
It only takes one time.
Yeah.
And then 7 months later, after trying, and I always sort of had a little bit of a concern that something would be wrong or something wouldn't work because I have endometriosis. And 7 months isn't a long time if you're trying at the moment and it hasn't happened within 7 months. But actually, it's okay.
It's pretty standard.
Everything might be absolutely fine. They say to wait a year and then you can go and see a fertility specialist. But anyway, at 7 months, we got pregnant. So exciting. I took the test and I remember I was shaking. Joe's gaming setup was downstairs at this time. So I wanted to tell him immediately and I kind of just panicked and I was like, oh. I called you.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, you have to come and look at what's in the oven.
It scared me.
Because I'm very forgetful. You thought that I had left something in the oven. And so you came upstairs.
I thought it was like a fire or something.
I'm not that forgetful yet. And he came upstairs and he looked in the oven and I had put a little bread roll in the oven. So a bun in the oven. And he goes, Bubby, why did you leave that in there?
I didn't get it.
Didn't get it. I was like, look, it's a bun in the oven. And anyway, we celebrated and we hugged and we were really excited, and we sat in the baby's room that we had already started setting up because we were super hopeful. We sat in the baby's room and we kind of thought, wow, we're going to be parents, like our whole life is going to change.
Yeah.
And I'll forever remember just sitting there with you being like, wow.
We had that little rocking chair and stuff in there.
Yeah, we just sat there thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to be parents. Didn't work, did it? We told lots of people. I think we waited a little while, but we were just, we were too excited and probably a little naive.
Jumped the gun a little bit.
We told lots of people. Which in hindsight, I am glad that we did tell a few people because we couldn't have gotten through the miscarriage without everyone's support and love. So as much as it was really, really heartbreaking to then have to tell everyone we're not pregnant anymore, it was also just really good that we had that support. Fast forward a couple of months, we were talking and we can't remember exactly when everything happened. Our brains have just
went, no, let's not remember that.
Yeah, but anyway, fast forward a couple of months and testing every month. Heartbreak every time that it was negative. Lots of ups and downs in your symptom spotting as well.
Yeah.
Which is so frustrating because most early pregnancy symptoms are exactly the same as PMS symptoms. And I PMS pretty hard. I PMS like a bitch. Yeah, so lots of testing and lots of roller coaster emotions. And then we got pregnant again. I got those 2 little lines and I thought, well, this is it, obviously, because we've already had our 1 miscarriage. Hello. Here's one of our birth side babies. Hey. Yeah, we thought, surely this is it. We've already had our miscarriage. And yeah, Joe came home from work and because we had a cot set up and I put...
Yeah, that's right.
I put a little baby onesie that had a rainbow on it and rainbow balloons, and I was saying this is our rainbow baby. And we cried. We were excited, but it's different finding out that you're pregnant after a miscarriage, because getting pregnant doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a baby. So we were excited, but cautiously excited and really scared too. Again, we told, who did we tell? My parents and your parents?
Yeah, and close friends.
Yeah, and close friends. And then it ended again.
Yep.
And so we went through that whole process of miscarrying again. And I remember when I first started to think that I was miscarrying, I collapsed in the hallway, didn't I?
Yeah.
And just said, no, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. And it was really hard.
I remember I was in the shower that second time when you came in, and like I was so scared, and you said it again, and then so I rushed out, like just a towel around me, and just like sat with you in the hallway, and it was just horrible.
We didn't think that would happen to us twice. It was the most insane pain the first time, not just physically but emotionally, and then it happened to us again.
And I think from the male side of it, or the partner side of it, you experience the grief, like it's obviously heartbreaking for both of us, but it's this weird kind of, I don't know if ignorance is the right word, but you males, you know, I'm not going through that physical pain, and I'm not, you know, it's not my body that it's happening to. It's kind of hard to, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not something that either of us had ever been through.
Yeah.
And while it's directly happening to me, you're getting the emotional side of things, but it's hard to empathize with the actual physicality of losing a baby.
Yeah, that one.
But you
yeah,
you did a really good job of supporting me.
I kind of remember just doing the classic male thing and just kind of tried to put the feelings to the side and just kind of do what I needed to do to help you, really. Like to like just to make sure in the moment that you were okay and you had everything you needed to kind of comfort you as best I could, and then kind of process it on my own time a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but then remember, I always wanted you to express how you felt about it as well.
And I got better at that.
Yeah, and
initially it was hard because, like you said, neither of us have gone through it, and I was like, I don't know what the heck.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things that people can go through. It's one of the most heartbreaking things. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. Anyway, we got through that.
Stronger together.
Yeah. And then...
wait, there's more.
Then we got pregnant again.
Third time's the charm, maybe?
Yeah, we thought third time's a charm. And by this point we were pretty numb to it, and we didn't tell anyone, did we?
No.
We were just like, oh, pregnant again, but we'll see. I started bleeding again, and I thought, okay, having another miscarriage. And then we got pregnant again immediately after that, and I thought, this is the one, because you're more fertile after a miscarriage.
Yeah.
I thought, this is it. Finally, it's happening. Started bleeding again. And then a month later, I got really, really, really bad pains. I thought it was my period starting again, because this is the weird thing about it. It happened each month that I started bleeding, and I just thought it was really bad period pains this time round. So I went to Kmart with my friend, and we were shopping at Kmart, and I was like, my period cramps are so sore. Then I drove us home. I drove us to Burger King, got my onion rings, very important to me. And then I pulled up in the driveway, and I was like, the pain's going all the way down my leg. And I
get out of the car.
I couldn't get out of the car. So I rang Joe, and I was like, we're gonna have to go to the hospital. And you were like, what? And I was like, we're gonna have to go to the hospital.
I was like, yeah, okay.
So, sorry.
Jeez.
You you came down to the car and drove me up to the hospital, and I had always had a fear about ectopic pregnancies. So we went up to the hospital, and at this point I had had no medical procedures done in my life, and I was just absolutely terrified to actually be going to hospital for something. In the waiting room, the nurse comes and asks you questions, and I said I have had miscarriages recently and I've been having really bad pain, which is different to the miscarriages. When I went in, that's when the doctor said it might be an ectopic pregnancy. I immediately panicked and went, so they gave me some calm down pills. And then, get this, their blood work machine was broken. So they couldn't actually do a blood test on me, but they got me to do a urine test. When he came back with the results, he said, okay, so you told me about your miscarriages. You had one miscarriage this many months ago, another miscarriage this many months ago, then you've just had 2 more miscarriages, and now you're pregnant again. And I said, huh? No, I'm not. What? Am I? And he said, well, yes, the urine test has just come back that you are pregnant. And that's when I was like, okay. And then he did an ultrasound, and he could see something, but he wasn't an ultrasound tech or whatever it is, and he was like, there's definitely something there. I think it's an ectopic. We're going to have to send you up to Waikato. He gave me some decent chill out drugs, He gave me the drugs, and he said, I'm happy for you to drive her up to Waikato.
It was like 1:30 in the morning or something.
Oh, by the way, we had to stop at home first so that I could put my Burger King in the fridge and say bye-bye to my cats, because...
That's true.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so she's had quite a bit of medication just to help with the pain and the panicking. And so it's kind of every like 30 seconds, kind of look over and check, and then from time to time she'd be there just super onto it on her phone, like eyes wide open, and they're so glazed from everything. And then 30 seconds later I look back and she's fast asleep. So I kept checking, and like if she's breathing and stuff, like kind of all that, like the whole ride up, we got there and like just went into ED.
Went into ED, and they were trying to take my blood, and my veins are real dumb and don't let the blood out, and I was panicking even though I was on heaps of chill out drugs. I remember bits and pieces. I remember crying and being just really panicky because they couldn't get my blood. And then they sent an anesthesiologist to come and try my veins.
He was the big guns in. Yeah,
he was so cocky. He stuck the needle in and dug it around, and he obviously it wasn't working. Like obviously he couldn't get it, and he was digging around, and it was taking so long. I was like, it's not working. Can you just take it out, please? And he is like, well, you're not making it very easy for me.
Just such a fragile ego.
Yeah, and he started like lashing out at me, the patient. So I swore at him. I won't say what I said, but I swore. I didn't enjoy his toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
We did all that, and it wasn't ectopic. I would have to go into surgery, emergency surgery. It was pretty close to rupturing, and I had a lot of internal bleeding, which we didn't know until afterwards, and we saw the discharge papers and the photography of inside my body, and it said which meant internal bleeding, and in the photos, there was quite a lot of blood. So I couldn't, but here I am, I'm alive, I'm kicking. Here I am, rock me like a hurricane. Is that the one you were doing? Yeah. After all of that, it turns out that I did not have 4 miscarriages. I only had 2 miscarriages, and the rest of the time when I was getting positive pregnancy tests, that was all one big pregnancy. So it was the longest pregnancy we've had, but it was in the wrong spot. They took one of my tubes out, obviously with the ectopic pregnancy, and then while they were in there, they found that the other tube was blocked.
Cysts and stuff.
Oh yeah, there were cysts and adhesions that I had to get removed as well. So it was a fairly big surgery actually. Because of my other tube being blocked as well, it meant that I couldn't get naturally pregnant. Our next step was IVF, which is where we are now, and we've been waiting 14 months on the New Zealand public waiting list for Hamilton Fertility Associates. We were originally told 12 to 18 months, and then we were told 18 to 24 months. So we thought it was going to be a little bit longer. We're cautiously excited. We know it's a really scary, long road ahead. We've got each other. We've got our amazing support system. We've got our Facebook page, Making Bubba Kathy, our IVF journey or something like that.
Yeah.
We've got so many amazing people that have been liking our posts, commenting on our posts, commenting pineapples, because pineapples for IVF. I'll talk about that in another video. I just want to get into it. I just want to get going. We know that a lot of things are out of our control, but I'm excited for the things that I can control, all the things that I can do to make it work.